Previous deli owners for 17 years in San Diego, California, where we believed every sandwich tells a story, one bite at a time. We love sandwiches so much, we call ourselves the Sandwich Snobs.
So hey, Tony Canali.
Hey, Mikey Sandwich.
We're here in the studio kitchen.
The studio kitchen.
This is awesome. We're going to start doing some stuff live like this.
I know.
Today, what we're going to do is best tips on how to make the ultimate sandwich at home.
The best sandwich at home, because it is tough. You go to a nice deli and you get a good sandwich there, and then you try to recreate it at home and you're like, absolutely, it didn't taste the same.
Right.
But there's a way to do it because they're doing it, so why can't you, right?
I would think I would start, of course, when you're making a sandwich, is bread. You know, there's some places that have fresh bakeries, and then you got your shelf bread that's out of a bag. These were fresh. These were all fresh here, basically, except for the regular sandwich bread. Some of these breads, too, you could put on a grill. You can grill them.
Yep.
You know, toast them out, right? I got ciabatta, I would probably toast it.
Oh, yeah.
Or panini. When we had our panini grill, we used that a lot. So choosing the right bread's important. The bread will complement the meats that you're picking. So like a crusty baguette is good for your heartier meats.
Yeah.
Yeah, like your spicy salamis, capopo. You go with maybe the soft breads for your tender meats or delicate meats, your hams or turkeys, even maybe roast beef, and the more lighter cheeses.
Yeah.
Right? And then ciabatta is great. I mean, again, I would really roll it, panini it, some kind of toast of it because it's just so much more dense.
It is dense.
And you could put any meat on that one.
Oh, yeah. And any so it's delicious.
And what's really cool is when you do grill it, you get those oils, right?
And right in those pockets.
That grease comes into the bread and gets in there and just so good. I want a quality sandwich at home. I'm going to pick a good fresh bread somewhere. There's a lot of good places. There's like grocery stores. They have great rolls. They're knowing people are coming in for that and they make it quality and quantity. So a good roll, ciabatta, baguette. These were fresh today. I mean, they have them all down the rows.
And that's the thing. Even if you go to your local grocery store, a Safeway, a Ralph's, Vaughn's, getting their bakery bread is always going to be better than just whatever prepackaged store-bought kind of bread there is. So every key component to a sandwich matters. You skimp out on one aspect of it, you're gonna taste it. So you also want to toast or grill when needed. So like a light toast kind of enhances the texture and flavor. It prevents sogginess too, and it helps the sandwich really hold together. When it's toasted, you got that firmer bread. It's not gonna fall apart on you, which is nice, especially for bread like this, store-bought. A quick press on a panini grill or a skillet with butter or even mayo can take your sandwich up to the next level.
Absolutely.
Now, pro tip, butter is good to toast, but it actually burns faster than mayo. So when you use mayo to toast, you're actually gonna get a nice golden crust, not a quick burn, So mayo is always better when you wanna toast or grill that bread. So hollowing out thick bread, if you're using like a roll or a baguette, is the best thing to do because you really don't want to have too thick a bread. And having your bread take up about 25% of the sandwich is about what you want. So if you're serious about sandwiches, understanding the difference between artisanal bread and processed bread can really take your sandwich game to the next level. Artisanal bread, made with simple, natural ingredients like flour, water, salt, and natural yeast, sourdough starter, or wild yeast. No artificial preservatives, emulsifiers, or additives.
And processed breads often contain additives like high fructose corn syrup, preservatives, and dough conditioners, like Downy, to extend the shelf life and make them soft. So artisanal bread has a firm, chewy crust with airy open crumb inside.
While processed bread is soft and uniform texture that's easy to bite into, it is prone to getting soggy or just falling apart when you put too much on it.
Yeah. We actually went with the little thicker one, but that's not everybody will get.
No, you kind of get that thinner slice, and when you start putting too much
sandwich bread.
But it's meant for a slice or two of whatever it is, not packing it like a deli sandwich.
Exactly, that we're going to be building here in a minute. Artisanal bread has a shorter shelf life, like 3 days.
So processed bread lasts about 1 to 2 weeks, so maybe even longer because it has so much preservative. So artisanal bread is great for gourmet sandwiches, paninis, and melts.
Processed bread is better for like a PB&J.
Yeah.
Grilled cheese, maybe just a regular slice couple slices of meat and cheese sandwich.
What we want and what everybody wants is, how do I make that deli sandwich at home? So that's where you're not going to have this bread here, guys. You're going to choose the fresh baked bread.
Right. So here are some meat and cheese tips for the perfect sandwich. First and foremost, use quality meats. Okay. Best choice would be freshly sliced deli meats from a butcher, high quality deli. So all these meats here, we went to an actual deli counter. Dietz and Watson, some other, I think they had some
Boar's Head,
Molinari, and I mean, these were quality meats.
Yeah.
So this isn't your stuff you're going to go down the meat and cheese process aisle.
No.
Like the Oscar Mayers and the
Hillshire Farm
and the Lunchables and all kind of stuff, that section. No, this is at the deli counter. Fresh sliced deli meats from a butcher or a high-end deli, or home-cooked proteins like you make at home, like a roast or a turkey or whatever.
Why do you want the fresh meats, the fresh deli meats? Because obviously, more flavor, right? Better texture, natural moisture. I can't tell you how many times I bought packaged turkey and it just tastes like just like slimy meat.
You might buy like 3 different types of meat, and they all taste the same.
Exactly. Definitely avoid the super processed deli meats. They lack everything that good deli meat should have because it's cheap, it's convenient, and that's basically really it. Shelf life. I guess shelf life. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it just lasts longer. So, but it's not worth it.
Now, slicing the meats, a certain way, is important too.
It is.
Now, we've had some places we've gone to, I thought they cut their meats a little too thick, right? You can go a little thicker on your salamis and maybe your pepperonis, but but roast beefs and turkeys and hams, I think it's better thin sliced.
Oh yeah,
and folded up. Now the other meats, like these kind of meats, the circle meats,
you lay them
out. Right?
Exactly. So the thinly sliced meats like the turkeys, the hams, roast beefs, salamis, those are best for your classic deli type sandwiches.
Right.
The way you have your meats cut, the type of meat it is really going to depend on how you're going to make your sandwich. You want to have about 3 to 4 ounces of meat per sandwich, depending on how large your sandwich is. Typically on a roll like this, 3 to 4 ounces of meat.
Believe me, we're experts.
We are the experts.
Also, you got to layer in cheese correctly. Putting cheese on the bottom is like, you have to. Okay, you just put it on the bottom. It acts as a little bit of a moisture barrier. She's a sheet. Yeah, or a shield. Yeah, a little barrier.
Yeah, and cheese sometimes can be one of those subtle flavors in sandwiches. So when you have it on the bottom of the bread, it's closer to your tongue, which means you'll be able to taste it before the meats, the sauces. So you'll be able to taste your cheese faster and maybe more of it.
Scientific stuff.
I know, right?
So here's an interesting tip. This is what I would do too. I mean, strong meats with mild cheeses. Like, you could do a pastrami with Swiss.
Okay.
All right. Or you could do a milder meat with stronger cheeses. So maybe something like turkey and smoked cheddar.
Ah, okay. Or even like a roast beef and cheddar.
Roast beef and cheddar. Roast beef and pepper jack.
Okay. Hey. And then, of course, you got the good old American. Well, I mean, it's all right. It's gooey. It's super duper extra processed.
That's like $1.99 a pack. At 18 pieces, they're like, come on, what are you really getting there?
Yeah, and nothing.
It's like rubber, just oil.
Key point, and we even learned this when we went to Benny's Subs in Murrieta, California. You want
fresh, crisp veggies. Yes.
It's literally a huge component. It's just as important as bread, just as important as meat and cheese. You put the wrong toppings on there, it can ruin your sandwich.
Yeah. And then your lettuces.
Yeah.
Very important. Certain lettuces are better on certain sandwiches.
Exactly. So you got like iceberg lettuce,
right?
Which is where you're going to get a lot of good crunch and mild flavor. It doesn't have too much flavor, but
that's where the other ingredients bring it out.
Exactly. But it's what works in most sandwiches if you think about it. Club sandwiches, your BLTs, your sub sandwiches. Then you got
romaine, which I really liked on my turkey and my tuna.
Yes.
Those kind of sandwiches, because again, it's a crunch, but it was like a different flavor.
It just has there's a richness to it. It's another earthy flavor that you're not getting. So even like on a roast beef and cheddar, with some romaine.
Yep. We brought in spinach.
Yep. I mean, arugula, that's good on like creamy, rich kind of meat. Your turkey cranberry if you want to get fancy. A caprese sandwich, like a veggie.
Yep.
Turkey.
Yeah, turkey. Oh yeah, turkey and arugula.
Yeah. Nice and toasted.
Yep.
Hey. Yep. So that's for lettuce, but for tomato,
it was always kind of a greenhouse tomato. We didn't really like Romas. Romas are good for salsas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a good beefsteak tomato type tomato, that just had the flavor. Again, I like tomatoes. I'm not crazy about tomatoes all the time on all my sandwiches, but it's got to be good quality tomato.
It does. Your nice on the vine hothouse tomatoes.
Yep.
Nice and round and red. And you want them nice and firm.
Yep.
You want them red and firm. And you know what? I think it really does make everything for a sandwich. It does. Because, I mean, you get a nice fresh tomato with your herbs and spices and everything with a good crisp lettuce on the right sandwich. Oh, man. It's like on the best Italian sandwich, that's all you need is lettuce, tomato, and the seasonings and meat. That's it. So onions is kind of a weird thing. For me, I only really like one type of onion on my sandwich. And that is a good old red.
Yeah, that's pretty safe.
It's safe, but you can use the yellow onions and the white onions on too. The red onions are going to be more of your mild sweet taste.
Right.
It's going to have more of a crunch, whereas your yellow and your white onions are going to be a little bit more sharper. They're going to be the ones where you just bite into it and it's like, oh, that's an onion.
Yeah, and you might put those on like more of a hot sandwich.
Possibly, if they're grilled.
Gotta have good pickle slices.
Good pickle slices.
Get in the cold section pickles. Don't get the shelf ones. I mean, they're good for whatever. It's gotta be a cold, crispy, just snap.
Yes. Oh, yeah, right. It's got to have good flavor too. Those ones in the jar, it's just going to be like just vinegary. Just
They're running the milk. Look at it. It's in its brine. You know, it's
Grillos. Look, you can even see, the dill floating in there. Look at that.
again, refrigerated case. You find some of the more quality pickles.
Definitely.
You know, you're gonna pay up a little more for them, but it's
Only $1 or $2. It's really not that
and
much.
they can go on to hamburgers and all that stuff
too, yeah.
But no, you need those for sandwiches.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
Because the ones on the hot shelf, those don't go on a sandwich. Not like these kind of sandwiches.
Not at all. We had extra stuff at our deli too, like olives and jalapenos and stuff like this. You got to be kind of careful when it comes to those little toppings.
Yep.
So
Those little toppings carry a lot of flavor.
Bro, they sure
So that's why they're good. We laced them, is what we used to do.
Yeah, we laced
it.
spreads, mayonnaise, mustards, your sauces. Why it matters to have them spread evenly. Don't you hate that when you go to a place and you say, let me get mustard, they get the squirt bottle out, and that first initial is so much in that one glop, and then it's a nice little squiggle throughout, but not one bite. It got to just spread evenly through.
Right.
That
When that first bite could be the first bite of your sandwich and the whole senses, like you said, like your tongue all of a sudden comes alive to all those flavors.
Exactly.
That lingers.
we use the spatula.
Yeah.
When you use a spatula, you can get that nice spread consistency, a nice thin, even layer that ensures you're going to get balanced sauce in every single bite. And that's what we always make sure we do with our mayonnaise and mayonnaise mustards. We made sure that it was spread from top to bottom, side to side, full.
Yep. Same thing with the dries. So we have salt, pepper, oregano. And the thing about red wine vinegar, you just don't use it full right out of the container.
No, 50-50 dilute.
50. So
Water and vinegar.
a little bit of vinegar. Or you can get it pre-made.
You can get pre-made. I mean, this does pretty good. You like it. It's kind of just like Italian dressing. Yeah. You got it already pre-made with the herbs and the oils and vinegar and everything. You just shake it up and then just put it right on top of your veggies.
A lot of good sandwich places use this.
And we used oregano and ground oregano over the leaf oregano, and it makes a huge difference. Just salt, pepper, and oregano on any sandwich, guys. It's amazing. You gotta season the toppings, your veggies. Even just the salad dressing, this little sandwich dressing, could elevate your sandwich to that next level. Give it that deli taste. Even with your tomatoes, you put your tomatoes on the sandwich, put a little bit of salt on top of those tomatoes, some salt and pepper right on top of those things. You gotta season your veggies, guys. Number one rule for veggies, season your veggies.
Yep. Believe it or not, we think cutting the sandwich a certain way is kind of like imperative. It is. Cutting at an angle.
Always.
Cut it at an angle. I don't know how many places I go to, they cut it at an angle. I thought we just were kind of different, but most places do. I don't know the science of it. We just used to do it.
We did.
Yeah.
And you know what? It actually, in my opinion, I think it does taste better. Because when you cut a sandwich, let's say we have this bread here, right, guys? You cut it like this, you just got this little surface area right here, the straight line to bite. But if you cut it at an angle, I've got all this surface area to bite. So you get more of a balanced bite in every bite. Right. When it comes to wrapping a sandwich, it's really only for the sub-type sandwiches. Yeah, wrapping a sandwich like this, it does not, in a bag, it's not going to do much. But when you have a roll like this, and you have it cut, you have all the meats, and you're able to just roll it all together and kind of tightly squeeze it so it just everything's just all packed together.
Yeah.
Because it just keeps everything in there.
Yeah.
And then when you open it up, it's just, it's all been marinating together nice and closely in a little blanket of bread.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of information, but this is a video. You can rewind it, take some notes. And you know what? Once you master this and you kind of figure out the right combinations, what you like, what you don't like, eventually you're going to make sandwiches like a pro. Trust us. These are the simple things that you can do at home, anywhere from a grocery store, your local bakery. These are all obtainable things and things that you guys can do at home to make your sandwiches taste even better.
All right. Bam.
Tastes like a deli sandwich to me.
This is as good as anything we've been buying.
I know.
Right? Yeah.
That's all it takes, guys. The right ingredients to make a good sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
A good sandwich, man. Well, I mean, I guess our tips work, huh? That's a pretty damn good sandwich.
This is a good sandwich for making it at home.
Yeah.
When we don't have the deli and all that stuff, we would have all the ingredients. We're going to just went out and did this today.
Yeah. Just threw it all together.
Did a little drive to a couple different places. I'm happy with this sandwich.
Oh, it's good.
Yes, it is.
All right, guys. Well, I'm Tony Cannoli.
I'm Mikey Sandwich. Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button, guys. We'll see you next time.
Do it.